Howdy, folks. Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz with Joe Warwick. I am your host, and this is Thursday, July 21st, 2022. Today, we're going to get into my top five of podcasts that relate to Buckeye football. So I've had a few people reach out to me on Twitter and other places and ask me, Joe, what's your top five? What shows do you listen to when it comes to Ohio State football podcasts? And so we're going to get into that. I should mention 44 days until the Notre Dame game. So pumped about that. Looks like Tom Orr is back in the podcast world, so I will let him take over the countdowns. It's his thing, and I don't want to get accused of stealing his shit. So anyways, we're going to keep it trucking. Again, this is your quick 5-minute Buckeye Blitz, and we're going to hit my top five. I'll even give a couple honorable mentions when it comes to Ohio State football podcasts. First off, number one, or should we go five? Let's start with number five. Menace to Sports, the Zach Smith podcast. He's the only person that does a podcast that actually has coached for Ohio State and is friends with Ryan Day, Tony Alford, and those guys. So he can give you a lot of good insight as to what the coaches are thinking, what it's like behind the scenes. So I made him number five. Mostly the negatives, I would say. His sidekick, Chris, he has the worst fucking takes ever. That kid needs to realize there was Buckeye football prior to 2014. He's younger, so he hasn't really watched much. Maybe he needs like a Buckeye football history lesson or something. Maybe jump on YouTube, watch some of the old videos. I don't know, some of the 80s, the 90s, when, we weren't at this level. So anyways, Minnesota Sports is number five. Number four, I go with 4 to 6 with A and B, Ari Wasserman and Bill Landis's podcast. I think Bill is one of the smarter reporters, and he loves offensive line play. So that's rare, I guess. So I like the stuff they bring to the table. They talk a lot of recruiting, of course, with Ari, and I know Ari is a pain in the ass, and he has some outlandish takes. Sometimes I think they're just for effect. I'm not sure he really stands by them. But anyways, 4 to 6 with A and B is number four. Number three, I'm going with, one thing on 4 to 6 with A and B. They got to quit the food talk. All these podcasts, we don't need the food talk. Shave 15 to 20 minutes off the freaking podcast, and let's just talk Buckeye football. They have the worst food takes. I don't give a fuck what drive-through you just went through and how their chicken nuggets compared to another drive-through's chicken nuggets. I don't eat that shit. So enough with the food talk. This is a moratorium across the board, all podcasts. You won't see it on my show. Number three, Bucknuts Morning Five, the BM5. Might want to not call it the BM, because usually I'm taking a BM when I'm listening to it. But it's a good show in that they have a lot of experience. Dave Biddle obviously has been around forever, and he's got a lot of takes that are not crazy opinionated, but he's he carefully rides a fence. So, and their staff is okay. Some guys I think are kind of holding the show back, but anyway, that's my number three, BM5. Number two, Buckeye Talk. This one I think is probably one of my all-time favorites. It's been around the longest, seemingly, because Doug has like really good questions. He's a deep thinker. He thinks big picture, even though he likes talking about scheme and personnel and how they fit together and all that. I know, but I think he has definitely improved his scheme, like film watching and what he sees on the field and how these scheme and players interact. So he's definitely improved there. I could do without the screechy voice all the time when he starts yelling and shit. I gotta like turn the thing the volume down. Nathan Baird, he's okay. He can be a fence rider too, or at least when he does have an opinion, it takes he has 10 caveats to the opinion. So it takes a while to get there. Steven's really improved. His opinions used to be horrible. He's improved and actually has worthwhile opinions. He's another guy that's pretty young and probably needs to take a Buckeye history lesson so he can have some more background, more history about Buckeye football, but he's getting better. So number one podcast on Buckeye football. This is a shameless plug, but it has to be the Buckeye Cast, right? I mean, this seems obvious. I mean, where else are you going to go for all your Buckeye info? We do everything for you. We do post-game review. We do pre-game, get you ready for the next game. We do picks. We do microscopes where we focus on a player on offense and defense. We even talk national landscape. I don't know what more you could ask for on one show. But I will say there are areas we can improve, that's for sure. Like the cicadas in the background of Jeff's audio kind of gets old. It sounds like a terrible stand-up comedian where there's crickets in the background. But anyways, those are my top 5. I'll say before Buckeye Scoop went to hell, I loved Morning Scoop. That probably would have been my number 1, actually. That was like my daily go-to when I am getting ready for the day. But not anymore. Whacked the Buckeye Scoop out of my podcast feed, and it's good to see that Tom is back with his own. I think it's called Tomorrow, whatever. Tomorrow morning. Anyways, whatever, might want to work on that. Other podcasts, I don't know. Buckeye Weekly was good with Tom and Tony. I basically would listen to those guys regardless of what network they're on. But that's my top 5. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if I missed on something, if you disagree about my takes or whatever. Hit me up, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the good shit. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Go Bucks.